Sopaipillas are so easy to make and they're absolutely addictive. If you can't find a Chilean pumpkin, you can use any other kind of pumpkin such as a butternut squash or a Hokkaido like I'm using here. Depending on the size of your pumpkin, you may only need half a pumpkin or maybe even just a quarter. Remove the seeds from your pumpkin, but don't throw them away. You can always use them for other recipes, for garnish or as a snack, or you could even plant them. Even though the skin is perfectly edible, in this case you want to remove it, simply because we're going to mash it up later and you want it to be nice and smooth. Cut your pumpkin into smaller pieces and then cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes or until tender. Also save some of the cooking water just in case you might need it later. Mash your pumpkin while it's still hot. You're gonna want to end up with half a cup of cooked pumpkin. Add a tablespoon of vegan butter. If you don't have any vegan butter available, you can always substitute it for olive oil. Then add a cup of flour. Add a pinch of salt and a pinch of brown sugar to support the natural sweetness of the pumpkin. Now mix together your dough. You may have to add a little bit of flour if it's too moist, or if it's too dry you can add some of the pumpkin water that you saved earlier. Knead your dough a few times, then flatten it out on the surface. If you don't have a rolling pin available, simply use your hands as I'm doing here. You want to flatten out your dough until it's about 1 centimeter thick. Then use a 7 centimeter ring mold or a cookie cutter to cut out the sopaipillas. The last thing you want to do is to fry your sopaipillas in some hot oil. Peanut oil is always best for frying, but you could really use any oil you have available. Now because they are so thin, they will only need about 30 seconds to fry. Flip them over after about 15 seconds, then let them fry for about 15 more seconds on the other side. Place them on some paper towels to absorb the excess oil. Traditionally, these are served with pebre, which is the Chilean version of salsa, but butter and lime is delicious too. These are so delicious that usually they're gone within a couple of minutes, but if for some strange reason you should have some survivors, don't throw them away. Even though they get a little stale, you can still transform them into a delicious dessert. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!